This romantic mountain getaway is the perfect place for your sim to spend Valentine's Day with that special person. Cuddle up in the waterfront jacuzzi or enjoy an intimate moment in the fire pit. Who knows, maybe someone will pop the question. Hey guys, it's Kyarako here, back with another speed build. I hope you enjoyed that romantic little intro I wrote for this build. Basically, this is a romantic mountain getaway. This is built in Granite Falls, and obviously this is very much inspired by the new wedding pack we're getting. I have been looking at spoilers, trailers, all the live stream stuff all week, getting super hyped. I'm really excited about this pack, you guys. I can't emphasize enough how much I love weddings and ceremonies and events and all these fun things, and I feel like this pack, from what I've seen, seems pretty robust in terms of, what it provides us, especially when it comes to detailing wedding events and stuff like that. I saw that you can pick wedding color schemes, you can detail cakes, you can, set up all sorts of traditions and cultural things. My god, it seems amazing. I'm very hyped. Please let me know if you guys are too. I'm sure you are. It seems so far like the community is responding to it pretty well, so let me know what you guys think. But yeah, anyway, so like I said, this build was inspired by that pack in the sense that it's basically this romantic cabin getaway. Valentine's Day is also coming up, so this is also inspired by that as well. Essentially, it's just this, cabin. I mean, it's a pretty large cabin, but it is a cabin tucked away in this secluded location in Granite Falls. You'll see later on we actually add in a water feature, so it kind of sits on top of this I don't want to call it a river, but in my head I was imagining it as a river, but it doesn't really flow. It's more like a little pond or a little, a tiny little lake, I guess. So it's kind of like a floating cabin on top of some water, and it looks very romantic, very cozy, but it is quite large. So I did imagine that this could also be a place where multiple, groups could go. If a wedding party needs to go have a fun night out or a weekend somewhere, this could also be a place for that to happen. But it's not this cabin isn't specifically for one thing or another, you know what I mean? Like I said in the intro, it could be something that or a place that your sim spends Valentine's Day at. It could be a place where a sim proposes to another sim. It could be a place where, a honeymoon takes place or something like that. So this cabin has a lot of potential in terms of just a romantic getaway, you know what I mean? It can be used for anything that you need for your sim. And I love how it turns out. It's very, it's modern romantic. I feel like there's a lot of different takes on romance, right? There's the whole, cozy romance novel kind of aesthetic where it's kind of old school, kind of historical, and then there's a little bit more modern updated romantic, with these luxurious restaurants and low lighting, and it's all intimate and dim. And this particular cabin, I'd say, is a modern updated aesthetic in terms of what it looks like in terms of the romantic aspect of it. So I feel like this cabin would be perfect for sims who are, I don't know, maybe more on the influencer scene. I don't know, it seems like a cabin that someone would definitely be taking photos of or Instagramming while they're here with their spouse, which maybe isn't the most romantic thing to do while you're on a getaway. But I definitely felt like this was part of the vibe here, was sims would be taking Instagram photos and doing all that stuff. So there's a little bit of that element here as well. But as you can see, as we go through, like I said, it's a modern aesthetic. What I was going for was kind of this wood combined with metal and modern touches. So we have this whole wood front here on the left. I used the tool mod to move these big beams around to, create this wooden facade, I guess you can call it. And then on the front here, we have a deck in the front, and there's also going to be a deck on the side and a deck in the back, and a balcony thing up here, and a balcony on the other side, actually. So there's a lot of decks and balconies on this particular build. I don't know why. I guess just because, it's in the outdoors, so there's a lot of, views to see, a lot of beautiful sights. Maybe you could come here and do some, I don't know, bird watching or something like that. This is totally random, totally unrelated, but I never really understood bird watching. I think it's such a fascinating hobby. I'd love to learn more about it. I just really don't understand it right now. I guess if I had to come up with a reason for why people bird watch, it sounds like it's almost like a collecting thing. You can collect the birds that you've seen. Does that make sense? Oh, you saw a really rare bird, and that adds to your memory of all these birds you've seen. I don't know, I can't explain it. I think bird watching is a very fascinating thing. If any of you know about bird watching or what the whole thing about it is, please let me know. I'm curious about, its its popularity. But I guess this build just kind of reminded me of that because it seems like a perfect bird watching location, especially with all these decks we're gonna get. A lot of decks, you guys. Like, I cannot stress enough, like, you have to be someone who likes decks if you're gonna stay here, because there's a lot of them. But basically, in a moment, we're gonna add in like the water feature that I told you guys about. I said initially I did actually want it to be a river. Like, I like the idea of like this flowing, rushing river underneath it, but like I didn't really go for that in the end. It just didn't really come to fruition. And also, I liked the idea that Sims could like jump in and swim in it, and it's kind of hard to swim in a river. It's a little bit dangerous, so I kind of made it more of like a lake pond thing, like I said before. And the deck we end up having on the side actually has a ladder that goes into the water, so Sims can also swim in the natural water. Like I said in the intro, there's also going to be a jacuzzi that's going to be on our outdoor deck on the water. So you can be in a jacuzzi on water, so you're in water on water, even though you could just jump in the lake, but I guess it's nice because it's all warm and bubbly. Jacuzzis are an interesting thing. It's basically like a giant bathtub that just has like water jet features, but it's like a communal bathtub because you like sit in it with other people. It's kind of gross if you think about it, just like taking a big old bath with other people. Because, you know, like in Japan, they have like hot springs and onsens and stuff like that, but usually when you go in there, you have to like rinse off before you get inside, you know, for hygiene, to just make sure it's, you know, nice and clean in there. But I feel like in America, I don't really see that much with jacuzzis. People just kind of hop in them, so it feels a little bit more unsanitary, but I don't know. I have not been in a lot of jacuzzis in my life, so I can't really speak on the jacuzzi culture here. But there will be a jacuzzi in this build. The only thing that I didn't really like about the jacuzzi that came with, I think everyone has the jacuzzi, was like a gift from from EA, I guess. That they did. You know what it was? It was an anniversary gift. It was the jacuzzi that has like the little what's it called, top cover thing, and it has like hanging lights. It's cute. Doesn't fully match this aesthetic, so you'll see what we do with that later on. We updated, make it a little bit more modern. But right now I'm just kind of going in, choosing my woods, choosing my wallpaper, adjusting these stones in the back. Like I said, there is going to be a deck in the back, actually, in that little I don't know what it's called, that little surrounded area in the back with all those rocks. So it's kind of a more enclosed space in the back where Sims have a more like private swimming experience, and then there's like a more public swimming experience up here with all this water up here. But as you can see, we put in the water feature. We popped in the watercolor, I guess, which is basically just like this greeny blue water. That's very descriptive of me. And then we kind of surround it with all these rocks to make it seem more like it's a natural part of the environment. That's been very important to me recently, is trying to really emphasize, or I guess really focus on the details of my exteriors. I mentioned this before in a couple other videos, but I am someone who's like studying interior design specifically, but I'm very much interested in exteriors as well, especially in The Sims, especially in this game, because, you know, I feel like it's pretty important that your outside looks pretty good, as well as the inside. So I hope you guys like this build. Please let me know what you think of it, and of course let me know if you have any name ideas, because like I always tell you guys, I come up with pretty generic names, just, you know, pretty standard, I mean accurate and descriptive, but pretty generic. This is, what did I call it? Romantic Mountain Getaway, which is, again, accurate, but not particularly creative. So if you guys have any, you know, creative ideas about, you know, romantic sounding names for this cabin, please let me know. That being said, I don't really know if it's called like a cabin specifically. I don't know if this counts as a cabin because it's pretty big. So call it what you want. You can call it a house. I just called it a getaway because that felt most honest. Or I guess it could be, oh no, it's not a cottage. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, here is the jacuzzi I was talking about. It's cute. It doesn't fully match the aesthetic though, especially with that roof, the roof thingy, the roof tile. Looks a little bit old school, a little bit residential. I wanted it to be a little bit more updated, a little bit more modern. So we actually go in and actually replace that roof with like this, it's like a grate. You'll see later on. I thought about adding in a fire pit here. I ended up scrapping that and just making it like a little outdoor chill space with a fireplace attached to the wall instead of like a separate fire pit. But we do actually add in like a whole like what's it called, like a lowered fire pit seating area in the front of the build later on. So you may have seen that in the thumbnail, and I also mentioned in the description. It looks really cool. I really like it. So this is like another little outdoor cozy area where you and your, not you, but your sim, and their, you know, romantic partner can come and they can cuddle up by the fireplace, you know, over this, you know, lovely waterfront, or they can hop in the jacuzzi. You know, it's not super private on this deck, but at the same time, I feel like this cabin is in such a remote location that I really doubt, like, there'd be other people here spying on you and stuff like that. So I think it'd be fine to be, all, a little kissy, a little cuddly up here with your spouse or, your partner. And then we're gonna add in, let's see, this is the grate I was talking about. I used the tool mod to rotate it and just kind of place it and cover up this roof. This was kind of a really, what's the word? It was just duct tape and nails kind of situation. It was just throwing these grates on over the roof, very kind of crafted together. But I feel like it looks good. It looks convincing in the end. It looks like it's pretty thick as a roof, but it successfully covered up that the roofing tile that I didn't really like. And then we switched out the beams for these wooden ones, so it matched the aesthetic a little bit better. I do feel like being out here on the waterfront would be nice at the fireplace, very cozy, though I would be worried about mosquitoes, to be honest. Like, I do not like mosquitoes, and this definitely seems like a place where you would get a lot of mosquitoes, especially with all this still water on the bottom. So that might be a little bit of a ding in the romantic sense here, but it'll be fine. I don't think are mosquitoes a thing in the game? I don't think they are. I know that there's like a, what's it called? Like a tile placement where you can like add in mosquito animations. I didn't for this water, so no worries. There's not gonna be mosquitoes flying around your Sims. But I think that's the thing. I don't know if they can actually bite though. I don't know. Let me know. I honestly don't do enough gameplay to actually know that. Anyway, so we're going to add in, we're just going to adjust like the front stair area here, the staria, and we're going to add in more of like a little entrance. So basically you walk up these stairs, there's like two sides. You can go to the deck on the left, or you can go to the entrance into the cabin on the right. But the big wooden wall thing in the center, that's where the mailbox is. So if someone needs mail, the mailman can go right up and deliver it to the house. I don't know if there's like a forest mailman who's just out here delivering random forest mail to random forest inhabitants. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know how that works, but there's a mailbox nonetheless. We're adding in some candles around the jacuzzi. Candles are gonna be a reoccurring thing. You're gonna see candles again because of course candles are very romantic, or iconically romantic, I guess. So you'll see them all around the house. Though, I mean, it's a forest, and this house is kind of made of wood, so just be careful with the candles. Don't start forest fires, kids, just be careful. And we do put this little plant on the table, but we actually swap that out later on for another candle, but you'll see that later. So on this front deck here, we're gonna add in some, what are these called, like lounge chairs, so you can just lounge outside. I don't know, like I don't really understand lounge chairs in terms of like their purpose sometimes, because whenever I see them by pools, I'm like, oh, it's so nice, you can relax by the pool. But then whenever I like go to a lounge chair by a pool, I just like leave my towel and my stuff there, and then I swim. Why else would you go to a pool? I guess it's for people who like want to like read and stuff and like, I don't know, sunbathe, I guess. But then I'm like, why would you make the effort to come out to a pool if you're just gonna not swim and just hang out? I don't know. Maybe I'm too critical of lounge chairs. I don't really understand the culture behind them, but they certainly are very, very pretty. I love the aesthetic of lounge chairs. They just have a nice swooping shape to them. Yeah. I'm in love with lounge chairs, but I'm critical of them as well. It's a weird relationship, you guys. Anyway, so up on the second deck here on the, it's not really a deck, it's a balcony, I guess. We're gonna add in like, I don't know if it's called a day bed, but basically you can see I just put in a line of like these, what are they called? I keep forgetting names of things, like these long sofa things. So your sim can come up here and chill outside. Again, a lot of outside chill spaces, like I said. Just relax. This would be a nice reading space, I think. And then I was covering up the corner of this with some wood, so it looked like the chair was like backed with this like wood wall. I was really trying to add in a lot of details here, just architecturally, because since I switched my schedule, like my posting schedule, to once a week on Sundays, I've been trying to really like focus on really like going robustly into detail with my builds, if that makes sense. Like just really making sure that I'm covering all my bases, adding in detail where detail's needed, and making it seem as cool as I could. So I hope you guys, again, enjoy this build. I hope you guys are cool with the new schedule I got going on. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I also have a Discord, which will be linked in the description down below, if that's another place for us to talk about things and to, I don't know, chill, I guess. But anyway, so just adding in a little book here on the side of this little day bed, because like I said, a really nice place to relax and read outside. And then I think we add in like a chair. I don't remember what else we add up here. I know we add in that little rug, but chair? Maybe. I don't know, you guys. Sometimes I forget my builds. Like this was probably, I don't know, like a 4-hour build. So it's kind of a blur sometimes, because and usually I'm building pretty late at night too, so I'm like half awake and I'm just like getting these out, and I have a fun time building them, obviously, because I love doing this, but sometimes they just leave my brain a little bit fried and I don't always remember what I did. So forgive me if I'm a little bit hazy memoried on this. But anyways, we're adding in a little front fence area here just to what's the word, like corral it off from everything else, a little bit more private, and also this will give us like a front little lawn area to work with, where we're gonna add in our outdoor fire pit and like a little picnic table thing. You may have noticed this is reversed than what it looks like in the thumbnail. I have to sometimes do that, like reverse my screenshots in my thumbnails. It just like works, it works better because there's like a, like when you're on YouTube and you scroll through and there's like, it shows a little time thing in the corner, the bottom right corner. That can mess up thumbnails sometimes, so sometimes I have to flip my thumbnails. So I apologize if you're ever misled into thinking my builds are facing one way, but they're really facing another. I hope that's not too confusing for you guys. So yeah, that's why that happens. Anyway, so we changed up the terrain paint really quickly. We made it just like a little bit of a softer green. I just wasn't really liking the bright orange ground that we had before. And then we're gonna add in, let's see, a picnic table like I told you about. We plop that in right next to the water, so you can eat out right next to the water. It also is like by a little bit of an entrance into the water, so you could like jump out of the water directly and chill at this picnic table, I guess is what I was thinking. But like I said, like this doesn't have to just be for 2 Sims for a weekend, like this could be a place where you could have a whole wedding party come and stay for a little bit and have just, a cool, fun, like friendship getaway, I guess, where you can all like swim in the lake together, and I feel like that'd be pretty fun. That being said, there is only 1 bedroom in this build, so 1 bed, 1 bath, but there is like a whole upstairs area that could definitely be like gutted or like changed into another bedroom, or just like an area for sleeping bags, honestly. Or, if your sim is, an outdoorsy type, they could just pop up a tent out in the back and sleep out in the tent, So this build is definitely, I think, has a lot of flexibility, to it. Now we're gonna go inside, I believe, in a moment. I actually spend more time on the exterior of this build than the interior, which isn't always the case for me. Sometimes I actually spend a lot more time on my interiors, but I don't know, ever since I switched to doing like, oh, by the way, this build has no custom content in it. Ever since I switched to doing no custom content builds, I found that like I spend a lot more time on my exteriors, and I'm not quite sure why that is. I think I just am like forced to be more creative with my exteriors without custom content, and the contrary of that is my interiors become a little bit more limited because of my lack of custom content. So I guess it kind of flipped the switch on things, where now I'm like more detail oriented on my architecture versus my interiors, but that's just how it happened, I guess. But please let me know what you guys think of my no custom content builds. If you want me to do custom content builds, I absolutely will. Just let me know. I have a lot of custom content, as you guys may be aware. So, I've just been doing no custom content builds recently, just because first of all, it's a nice challenge for me, and I appreciate challenges in this game. And second of all, I just think it makes my builds more accessible to you guys. I've said this before, like I just want my builds, I just want it to be easier for you guys to use my builds in your games, because not everybody uses custom content, and custom content can have some issues, especially if your computer can't handle a lot of it. I have to have a computer that can, because I have so much custom content that I need a nice computer for it, just because like I need custom content for my game, you guys. But yeah, it's been fun building without it. It's been a nice challenge. But again, let me know if you guys have been liking this, or if you'd rather me, go back to doing custom content builds. I said custom content like 50 times in the past 2 minutes. I apologize. It's kind of a tongue twister, and now my mouth is tired. So yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, so we are gonna go in, and I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I keep popping back between the inside and the outside. It happens sometimes, you know me. I'm kind of a scatterbrained builder. I just kind of go wherever the Sims wind takes me, I guess. Wherever, my brain remembers to add something. Like, look, I just popped in a random plant. Why? I don't know. I just did. Just felt like it, I guess. Anyways, we're gonna go in and put in our walls and stuff. We actually copy the metal, the black metal on the outside into the inside. So the interior is actually kind of dark, kind of moody, but I actually quite like it. I feel like it's kind of like a sexy, intimate vibe, Like, I feel like it's just got, I don't know, it's nice, Usually with like these kind of cabin things in the outdoors, I would have like a lot of like these big windows and have a lot of, natural daylight on the inside, and that's all great, and I love that. But for this particular build, I have so much outdoor space with like all these different decks we have, that I kind of wanted the inside to be a little bit more of a private sanctuary, so the lack of major huge windows on the inside kind of lends itself to that, where you have like these little moments of privacy. I do actually add in one more window though, which is hypocritical to what I just said, but we do add in one more window in the kitchen here right above the stove. I just felt like the kitchen needed a window because I like the idea of like looking at things while you cook. Like if you have a window above the stove, which is what we add in right now, it's nice to be cooking and like look out. Especially in this particular build, you can look out over the water while you cook, and I feel like that would be pretty nice. I was watching a video recently. It was like an architecture advice video on YouTube, and the architect was talking about, he specifically mentioned basically putting kitchens on the side of the house where the window is going to catch the most sunlight in the morning. So what is that, east? I don't know. Whatever direction, I'm embarrassed that I don't know this. Whatever direction the sun is rising, you face your kitchen windows towards that space, was his advice. Essentially because, when you wake up in the morning, one of the first things you do after probably using the bathroom is you go and you make breakfast, or you go to the kitchen to get some food. So it'd be nice, the kitchen is such an important place that you spend time in the morning. It'd be nice to enjoy that morning sunlight, so it made a lot of sense to me to have like a lot of windows and a lot of sunlight in the kitchen itself. And it also just wakes you up, what I learned recently about colored light? So how there's like more warm light, like tungsten, and then there's like cooler light, like imagine like fluorescent lights in your classroom. So there's warm light and there's cool light. Apparently warmer light has been proven to make people more creative, but cooler light has been proven to make people more productive. Isn't that interesting? So it's not like one is necessarily better than the other. They offer different things to the human brain, which I thought was so fascinating. The productivity that comes with cooler light, the theory is that it's because our human brains are, programmed to wake up when the sun comes up and when the sky is super blue and bright and more cool toned. So it wakes you up and it makes you more productive. Whereas with warm light, it's more like afternoon light. It's when things are kind of winding down. I don't know why it makes you more creative, but that's the science. So that's pretty interesting, I thought. So if you're ever designing your house, put warm light where you want to be creative and put cool light where you want to be productive. So that's an interesting, fun little design fact for you guys. Anyways, so now we're in the bathroom, which I think turns out looking pretty good. I don't always love my bathrooms. Bathrooms are super hit or miss for me, just because I feel like you're very, very confined into what you can do with bathrooms, since you have to have a specific set of things: toilet, sink, shower, tub. So it can be a little bit limiting, but in this particular bathroom, I thought it was nice. We have a tub here, against the wall. Obviously, it's like a little jet tub, which again, basically a jacuzzi, but smaller, I'm telling y'all. And then we actually have a wall-mounted shower with a mirror on the back. So your Sims can shower together, I guess, with that mirror. It's a sexy bathroom, I'd say. And then here in the back bedroom, this is where we have all these windows in the back that face into this like private water area. So this is like a very, romantic space, especially since you have that private deck in the back where you have like your own personal little swimming area. We have this 4-poster bed frame. Is that what it's called? A 4-poster, where it has like these posts. Oh, that makes the poster. Okay. And then in the side here, we're gonna pop in a little what I imagine is probably like a little reading corner. You have a chair, this thing that's probably like an Alexa or a, I don't know, little Google Home thing, and then we're gonna pop in a big old wine photo because wine is romantic, so I thought that was pretty fitting. Gonna put in another painting, and then in the rest of the room we're actually gonna add in like a wardrobe area, a little fireplace seating area, and then a desk area in case your sim needs to do some work. Even while you're on a getaway, I guess sometimes you gotta do some work, I understand. So we do end up putting in a desk in there. There's a lot of fireplaces in this build. There's like 1, 2, 3, there's like 4 fire features in this build. A lot of fire and water here. So just be careful, don't burn anything down, y'all. Just don't kill your Sims on their honeymoon, unless that's like part of your story, which I feel like would actually sounds pretty fun to play. But that was not my original intention, so just be careful with all this fire. Here is that little workspace desk area that I was talking about. We have some cabinets above it, just for extra storage, and then just a computer there for your Sim to work on. We put a mirror on the back here. added detail, you know, and then some files and, you know, other work stuff. We are almost about done with this build. Please let me know what you guys think while we're wrapping up. Again, let me know if you have any name ideas, any questions, comments, concerned about my new, you know, posting schedule. And of course, how you feel about these no custom content builds, because that's something I would really like some feedback on if you guys are enjoying this or not. But yeah, so this upstairs area, as we wrap up, this is just another lounge area. This is the space I was talking about where you could just take out this furniture, you could pop in another bed, you could pop in some sleeping bags. It's just an extra space if you need it. Then this outdoor space, this is where we're gonna put in our final feature, which is our last fire pit. Like I said, a lot of fire features in this build, which I feel like is a nice contrast to the water. And then we have this like covered umbrella so that you get some shade from the sun, popping in our chairs, and then in the center we're gonna put in that little fire pit. I did not test if this fire pit is functional or not, so let me know if it's not. I'm assuming it is. I feel like it actually would be, just from the way that I built it. I can't imagine anything would be wrong with it. So I hope that it works. Anyways, you guys, it is Sunday. I hope you had a wonderful week. I'm so excited for the wedding pack, you guys. You have no idea. You will see a lot of wedding builds from me in the future. So get your Sims ready, get your, you know, your romantic storylines on the go, because y'all, there's gonna be a lot of wedding content, a lot of honeymoon content, proposal content. And of course, if you guys have any build requests, I mean, especially relating to those things, again, wedding content, or, you know, anything at all, build requests, challenges, you know, gameplay ideas, anything at all, please let me know. Anyways, oh, I messed that up. Let me try again. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.